So to submit an expense, you go to the collectives page and you click on Actions at the top right-hand corner and the option to submit an expense. Sometimes on collectives pages, it will appear as its own individual tab. So you can just click on that and it'll go to the same page. So once you're here, you can either choose to make a reimbursement, submit an invoice, or request a grant. Requesting a grant, that function is usually used for solidarity funds or mutual aid funds, where individuals can go on and request a grant that is already on their page. The option to submit an invoice or make a reimbursement is a very similar process, but instead of uploading an invoice, you just upload receipts and you can be reimbursed for a purchase you've already made. So we'll go through submitting an invoice. So the payout method is always going to be new bank account. The currency will always be GBP. Transaction method, local bank account, and then you just fill in your account information. And then there's the option here to save this information so you're not repeatedly having to fill in this information. So once you're happy with that, click Next, and you'll be taken to this page. And so this is where you can fill out the details of the expense. So the expense title, the amount of the expense, and the name of the person submitting the expense will remain public, so everyone will be able to see that. What will stay private is the details of the invoice, and it's whatever information has that little grey lock next to it. So the details of the invoice, the bank details of the person submitting the expense, and the comments section here. So once you're happy with all that information, you then click Next and you submit the expense, and then it will go through as a pending expense into the admin's page, and they will either approve or reject that expense. Once it's approved, it will then go through to the fiscal host as a ready to pay expense, and we will make the payment. And that is submitting an expense.